Whiskey Jason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American over here in Germany. Today I'm in California. I have here a Sonoma Distilling Company made in Sonoma County, California Rye, a blend of straight rye whiskeys. I keep on asking myself, where's the other part of this coming from? Blend of straight ryes. What distillery outside of California would that be? 46.5% ABV, made with California grains. The whiskey maker, Adam Spiegel here. So we have, this whiskey is made from rye, and malted barley. Aged a minimum of 4 years. Ooh, 4. And this is batch number 2023 for Europe. So this costs me 55 euros, exactly the same price as the bourbon. Bourbon is usually cheaper than rye. It costs much more money to buy the rye, and we get less yield from rye than we do from bourbon. But hey, that's marketing for you. Imported by Le Maison de Whisky, so the House of Whiskey in Paris, France. Over here we have our California Smoked Rye. So put a little bit of this in the glass as well. 46.5% ABV. It says here in my label now, straight rye whiskey made with cherry wood smoked malted barley. All right, so I was reading a little bit on the Whiskey Advocate. The article about American distillers explore the fruitful flavor of wood smoke from June 22nd of 2022. And it talks here about Sonoma Distillings. They smoke wood on site in a 1-ton smoker built into an old shipping container. Did not know that. All right, so founder and whiskey maker Adam Spiegel says that it's a nuance they can offer as a grain-to-glass distillery, and one that infuses their whiskey with an added sense of place. We like it because you get a California cherry tree. A little of that local flavor, he says. The reason I like working with smoked grains, he says here, is that it changes your perception of smoke. Unless you're using oak, wood can actually be a very bright, beautiful, clean burn. It also gives him an additional tool when creating new whiskeys. In general, smoke is a nice flavor modifier, he adds. All right, so 2017, the Masters Collection for Woodford Reserve used cherry wood smoked barley as well. Back then, they had 30% barley in there. I have no idea about the ratios. I cannot find anything about the mash bills online. I just know that I have rye wheat and cherry wood smoked malted barley. Here I have the rye, the malted barley, and the malted rye in here. So we have 4 different products from them, at least over here in Europe at the moment, with 4 different mash bills. Way to go, Sonoma. All right, let's try these. The smoked looks a tiny little bit here more richer, darker, a little bit more of a wood influence. Now the nose, this is very typical craft rye. So we're talking about a little bit of mint. We're talking a little bit of a wood sap, even beech wood sap. A little bit of dill, a little bit of vanilla, a little bit of brown sugar. But fairly young, even though it's 4, yay. This is different. This does add complexity, and I might have been primed by the article I just read, but this has a little bit more depth. I still get that mint moment, a little bit like a spearmint. I get the same, but I get more of a lemon smoke moment going on in there. Think of a burnt lemon. A little bit of barley sugar, maybe brown sugar. A little bit of vanilla here and there. Maybe even a little bit of eucalyptus. So, let's try these. These 46.5, those 46. Those were the normal rye. The normal rye is 55. The smoked is 60. Just like the normal bourbon is 55 and the smoked bourbon is 60 as well. Euros. So the recommended price in America, the straight rye is going to go for $40, and the Cherrywood smoked rye is going to go for $50, $49.99. So I should be getting dried figs, toasted almonds, brandied cherries, and new leather, according to the official tasting notes on Sonoma Distilling Company, oneword.com. Cheers. Yeah, it's young. The sweetness tries to come in, tries to take over the steering wheel, but this, I'm going to call it fir tree sap moment, pushes it back down. And at the end, the finish is more of a sappy birch, maybe fir tree, beech tree. A little bit of a tartness, a sourness. Not 100% really my cup of tea. C minus, value for money. Would I buy this for 55 euros again? No. D. So sorry. Let's see if I do get the complexity here with the smoked rye. According to the website, I should be getting here vanilla, allspice, white pepper, dried apricot, and walnut. And this was the Sunset International Spirits Competition Gold winner in 2022. If I keep my mouth closed, a little bit of that aftertaste does not kick in. I need to have oxygen in my to come here, retronasal, come back up here to actually get that smokiness. It's very subtle. It has a little bit of like a bacon smoke moment. It's sweet. There's rye. There's wood. There's a little bit of vanilla. There's a little bit of tobacco. I'm not sure if I really get the walnut or not, but maybe the dried apricot if I really try to think about it a lot. But I do like this. This is a C whiskey. Ooh. I don't know if I like it, but I think I like it. It's the best of the four I had. So it does have a little bit more depth. So smoke can add depth. So it says here to my my straight rye here, it's made out of North American rye and British rye malt, all non-GMO. But I have here a blend of straight ryes, and they here talk about just it being a straight rye whiskey. So why over here in Europe do we get, for the standard rye and the standard bourbon, a blend of straight ryes? I will never know. I will die ignorant unless someone writes in the comments why. This has no mention of straight rye blended. It just says straight rye whiskey made with our cherrywood smoked malted barley. So you take malted barley and then you smoke that with cherrywood. You don't malt the rye yourself and then do that. No, you just add a little bit of the smoke to this. It tastes better than it smells. Would I pay 60 euros for this again? Probably not. This is a D plus value for money. This was a D value for money. So this was a C to C minus, depends on my mood and the time of day and whatever else, but not bad. Now my question of the day is, what rye whiskey do you love that does not come from Kentucky? Just got rid of a lot of the good rye that we like, doesn't it? So what rye does not come from Kentucky? And I'm going to add a second place, MGP. Sorry, I knew you were going to say that. So no MGP rye, no Kentucky rye. This is Californian rye. We have New York Empire Rye. We have Virginia Rye. We have a long history of Pennsylvania Rye, Maryland Rye, Colorado Rye, Texas Rye. I could name almost all the other states as well. What states outside of Indiana, MGP, and Kentucky Rye do you like? So, one of my favorite ryes, it's not even in America. It's Lot 40 up there in by Ontario, Canada. Beautiful stuff. Danke. Danke. Thank you, Dr. Danke, thank you. Thank you, Dr. Don Livermore, for that. Beautiful, beautiful stuff. Whiskey Jason here, whiskey from the viewpoint of an American, saying goodbye. Thank you very much, and don't forget to share. Bye-bye.